name implies, they were meant to divert the waters of the Colorado River around the dam site. The way it works is each tunnel is 50 feet in diameter and just about 3/4 of a mile long. There was a set of smaller semi-permanent dams called coffer dams. We had an upper coffer dam and a lower coffer dam. They worked like this. The upper coffer dam would force the waters of the Colorado River into the diversion tunnels, and then it would flow through the canyon walls and be deposited downstream. The lower coffer dam would then stop those waters from just backflowing into the work site. So by sealing the canyon off in this manner, they essentially made an island within it for the men to work in. And work they did. Hoover Dam proper took just under 2 years to construct, June of 1933 to May of 1935. Now this rapid pace was achieved by using a system called a cableway crane system. This was massive cranes stretched across the canyon that allowed them to move concrete to anywhere on the work site, very quickly and very accurately. Each bucket of concrete that those cranes were moving into the dam weighed about 16 tons. And they got really good at moving them. At the height of construction, they could move 1 bucket of concrete every 78 seconds. They were doing this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 363 days of a year. They were slinging concrete to get this thing built. Now let's talk about that 16-ton bucket though. To give you an idea of how big that is, imagine one of those cement mixing trucks with the big spinning barrels on the back of it. That's how big they are. It's the size of that barrel. Now, as the dam was nearing completion, they started closing off diversion tunnels. So they closed 3 of them at first. This is what allows Lake Mead, which is the nation's largest man-made reservoir, to start filling with water. They left 1 diversion tunnel open so water can continue flowing down the Colorado River for agricultural needs. But in 1936, the lake level was finally high enough where we could generate electricity off of it. So we closed that 4th and final diversion tunnel and we opened the 4 intake towers. So those are those big towers you see standing out in the lake behind the dam. And that is where the water comes into our system, or where we intake it. So the water flows into that tower, goes into a network of pipes below it, and then it ends up here. Because where we are now is one of those diversion tunnels. But they converted that diversion tunnel into what's known as a penstock tunnel. And a penstock is that fancy pipe out there, or that big pipe out there. It's a fancy term for a water pipe. It's 30 feet in diameter. It can flow up to 96,000 gallons of water per second, which is enough water to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool in less than 7 seconds. And there are 3 more of these pipes throughout the facility. It will go to our power plant, where we can use it to generate electricity. We'll then dump the water back into the Colorado River and send it on its way. But wait, remember, we built a coffer dam there. So to allow the river to resume its flow, we had to blow up that lower coffer dam. But the upper coffer dam, that was actually left out in Lake Mead. It's still there to this day, as it helps us with what's known as desilting. Now, the last system I want to cover down here is our spillway system. This works the exact same way as your bathroom sink. Because your bathroom sink has that extra drain hole in the side of it that stops it from overflowing. Same exact thing here, just supersized. If there's ever too much or excess water in Lake Mead, it automatically spills over into our spillways and diverted around the structure to prevent damage to it, so that the dam is intact. Now, the system has only ever been used twice. The first time we did it was in 1941. We purposely overfilled Lake Mead so that we could test this emergency release system to make sure it did in fact work, which it did, which is great because the second time was the real deal. In 1983, we saw a rapid, unexpected snowmelt that caused the waters of Lake Mead to rise to within 7 feet of overtopping Hoover Dam. The spillway sit 27 feet below the top of the dam, and for 63 consecutive days that summer, a 4-foot wall of water flowed into them. And that was the most water we'd ever seen at this location, and it was a sight to behold. So here's what's going to happen next. I'm going to lead us back to the
1913లో తీసుకొచ్చిన పనులు
of our 17 commercial generators. 9 more of our generators on at once. We can produce floor in front of it because you'll see a gated off bridge crane. Now it's got a top and bottom of the structure is 7.